held a great ceremony, a recreation. I have a film of it. A recreation of the original laying of the cornerstone, the second, bicentennial. But guess what? They claimed that the architect of the Capitol, there's a full-time person, the architect of the Capitol, he could not find where the original cornerstone was laid. They were going to unearth it and re-anoint it again with their corn and oil in their occult ceremony. He claimed he could not find it. I wonder if they actually have human bones. They killed individuals and laid them under that great cornerstone. Because this is what the ancient mystery religions did, and this is nothing more than a theocracy of mystery religions. This architectural colossus is the evidence of it.
That's right. Imagine if Christians tried to come out and do a ritual at the laying of new government buildings. The ACLU would howl, but you have the Masons come in and do that. They are more than happy. Again.
Absolutely. The Denver International Airport, there is a plaque saying the New World Commission built this airport. Well, of course, it was the U.S. taxpayers. But that was also done by the Freemasons of Colorado.
Well, and then we have the who built the Rosicrucians building the Georgia Guidestones, saying they're going to kill 90% of us. I mean, they mean business. They run things. They're coming, and they think you deserve to die for their god Lucifer. We're going to continue. Tex, I don't want to exhaust you here. You want to take a break for a few minutes, or you want to keep talking right now?
Hey, I can keep talking if you'd like to, Alex. You got me fired up now.
Well, we're going to come back and start, absolutely, we're going to come back and start taking calls, but can you speak more about the Rothschilds and their homes and their own paintings, and then some about the Georgia Guidestones? I mean, you cover it all in your book. I've shown people here on camera a few pages and, pointed at it, but, I mean, you've got to get the book, folks, at Infowars.com or at TexMars.com to really understand just how serious this is. I mean, this is their gang member signs everywhere. I just threw out those other issues. How about Endgame? What's it going to look like if they're able to win? What will they do? What would the world look like if they succeed? And with God's help, we don't stop them.
Well, first of all, it's an interesting thing. In this bit about human sacrifice, this is an unknown philosophy to the lower-ranking members of the Masonic lodges and these various occult orders. They believe that the first people to be sacrificed will be their lower-level initiates. I mean, it's going to be a big surprise to all these Masons and Shriners.
But see how that evil system builds it in perfect? The coups always want to get rid of their minions because they were the ones that knew where all the bodies were buried and knew all the secrets, and they bring in new dumbbells.
That is a very good point.
The Soviets, the Nazis.
Russia, think of the purges. And they're going.
Hold on, Tex. Let me stop you. That is key info. I was aware of that, but the viewers probably aren't. Flesh that out for them.
All right. You want me to do it right now?
Yes. How they're planning to get rid of their own minions.
Well, you have to understand that they believe these lower level minions are just dupes and deceived and are worthy of death. Because if you're so gullible that you've been brought into the religion of Freemasonry and the Illuminati, well, you're deserving of death. If you worship this and actually think you're worshiping some true God, that they love the ignorant and the ignoramuses in terms of these are people worthy of death. And, of course, many of them have been involved. For example, you and I know that those who planned 9/11, many of them are dead. I have no doubt at all that many of them are dead. And this is what they do, the JFK assassination. How many met unnatural, untimely ends who had some bit of knowledge? Remember Georges Morin Schmidt, who was the CIA contact with Lee Harvey Oswald? Just, I think the day before he was to testify before the Congressional Committee on the JFK assassination, he was found dead, usually a victim of suicide.
Man, if you're not a member of PrisonPlanet.tv, folks, to see these behind-the-scenes discussions, or if you're not listening to the free audio streams at Infowars.com with these guests, it's just unbelievable. You notice that all throughout history, the Romans would take over an area and then kill the collaborators. The Nazis would take over an area and then kill the collaborators, people that helped bring them in. The Soviets had all the purges. The Catholic Church has done that in areas they take over. This is standard procedure. The people that killed Kennedy, they then killed them. The Illuminati plans to kill the lower-level Masons after they get into control. Now, let's be clear. They think you're profane, pathetic, morons, that they hang pictures of Albert Pike and they hang pictures of Manly P. Hall, who admit it's Lucifer, devil worship, all of this. And then you're told you're worshiping Jesus. It's a big joke. You're big saps to them. Tex was getting into that and what their master plan, what the world will look like. And again, in the United Nations Biological Diversity Assessments, this is in my film, Road to Tyranny. We cover it again in Endgame. They say, official UN law, that they want world government and to bring back in human sacrifice to reduce the world's numbers. So this is all public. Tex Mars.
Well, you know, in my newsletter, and people can get that just by calling our toll-free number, free copy, there's a picture, and it's in Mysterious Monuments, the book, of 3 amazing North American Union pyramids built in Princeton, West Virginia, outside of Bluefield. And by the way, they were built even before the 1995 Concordance, you know, agreed to by Bush and Fox and Martin, the Prime Minister of Canada, and the President of Mexico. So the North American Union was planned, but to consecrate it, 33rd degree Mason, Senator Robert Byrd, I believe, and these people met and had an occult ritual, a satanic ritual ceremony, inside these 3 amazing pyramids. Who would have ever thought? And by the way, in front of those pyramids, and they were built by the U.S. Transportation Department with taxpayer dollars, are the flags of Mexico, Canada, and the United States in West Virginia. The amazing North American Union pyramids with flags of the 3 countries.
Then we have the Mooney Gardens with all sorts of occult stuff down in Galveston.
Oh, yes. These pyramids are going up everywhere. But maybe if we really want to see what the ultimate is, on pages 434 through 437 of the book, Alex, I talk about the pyramid mysteries of the atomic bomb. You may say, what does that got to do with anything? Well, you were talking earlier in your program, and this is very vital. Get this in your mind. You know, there was a movie some years ago. It was almost comical, but after a Third World War, people began to worship an idol, and they went into this temple, and it was an atomic bomb. They were worshiping the actual atomic bomb. And at first you say, well, that's crazy. You know, this is a post-war world, you know. But wait just a minute. Maybe it's not so crazy after all, because I disclosed the pyramid mysteries. If you visit New Mexico near Alamogordo, they have a monument built near where the first atomic bomb was unleashed, you know, during the Manhattan Project. And guess what form it's in? A pyramid, a rock pyramid. Now, J. Robert Oppenheimer is called the father of the atomic bomb. He was head of the Manhattan Project. Turns out he was a communist spy. Now, this is interesting. The first atomic bomb that they dropped on Japan, they gave the name of the Little Boy. Now, this is like the Golden Boy. It's the Antichrist. And once he explodes, he has such huge magical power. A great mushroom comes up on the face of the planet, and millions will be incinerated, burned to death in a fire sacrifice. Now, these are incredible things, but even the name Adam comes from the Egyptian god of death called Atum, A-T-U-M.
Well, he was an admitted Bohemian Grove member. Robert Oppenheimer and the Grove admits in their own papers they hatched the plan there at the chalet. We'll be right back. Jason Bermas will be with us in about 20 minutes in studio. Tex Mars is my guest. He's going to stay with us till 19 after. We will take a run of your calls after this break in about 8 minutes from now. I wanted Tex to be able to finish up with the occultist involved with the atomic bomb. Now, this is a fact. It's even mainstream history. But his book really documents that. So please continue, Tex.
Well, you know, it's interesting. The first atomic bomb was dropped 7/16/1945. You say, well, what's the significance of that? July 16th, 1945. Add the numbers 7/16/1945. You come up with the number 33. Of course, that's the highest level of Freemasonry. So we have the magical numerological number of the occult, 33. Everything was planned. The bomb was called the Little Boy, after the Antichrist, the little boy of the goddess and the great god. So everything, J. Robert Oppenheimer, of course, and meanwhile, it was called the Manhattan Project. Well, what were they doing in New Mexico? Well, it was because of Illuminati chieftains who conceived of this and what to do about it, to literally incinerate 2 cities. And again, everything is numerological. 2 cities, same as in 9/11, 2 towers. And this is the Antichrist and Satan, his father, you see. And so everything is done in a magical, ceremonial, black magic fashion.
And now we know that Hitler wanted more blood. Lenin called in mainstream history for more blood to get more power. And they took the Babylonian famous gate and the seat of Satan, as it was translated by the Babylonians south of Baghdad. And Hitler had a huge, my parents just visited it in Berlin.